sedans and men in black glasses and a secret meeting. And they said there was no meeting. And we had footage of Marines. We had footage of helicopters, Secret Service. Turned out Hillary and Obama were in the meeting years later. That was their secret meeting when no one could find Obama for a day. It was there. It happened. We caught world leaders with their national anthems playing, and they just came out in the New York Times and said it didn't exist. Just like they say, if you have a business, you didn't build that. Just like they say that raising the debt limit doesn't raise the debt limit. Just like they say there is no $5,000 fine starting this year for people that don't get Obamacare. It's in the stinking bill. Everyone will be affected next year. They just say there is no fee. There are no death panels. You will keep your doctor. It will lower your bill to the price of a phone bill or a cable bill. I guess if you've got 10 different cable packages, maybe. Maybe you own a small hotel and pay for 10 packages, maybe, yeah. But not one. It's doubling prices conservatively. This is what we deal with. Well, guess what? Now, thanks to Infowars.com, WorldNetDaily.com, DrudgeReport.com, the Epoch Times, they helped break it as well in the last decade, American Free Press and others. Because of that fact, they now have to admit it exists. But they go, it's no big deal. Yeah, it's world leaders meeting in secret, royalty, bankers, head of Google, but don't worry about it. It's kooky to even care. Let me tell you what happened last year in England. You've seen the video. About 3,000 people showed up to hear me speak on the green there. The police told us they were listeners and didn't like Bilderberg, and we're not lying, and rolled the red carpet out for us. In most cases. There were a few that were jerks, low-level ones. But I've never been treated so well by police. And they gave us intel. Well, regional police came and met with us and were nice, and then local police were nice. I ran into some guys from MI5, gave us really good intel. And they just said point blank, no, we know this is horrible for our country. We know it's bad, yeah. We're allowed to have opinions as citizens. Yeah, it's terrible. It's illegal, we believe. People don't want to be slaves, folks. You got a working class attitude in England where people still understand, especially those that aren't dumb, that having a bunch of insiders meet is bad for everybody and set agendas in secret. And it's illegal. So we've come a long way. I'm going to skip this network break so we can talk to Paul Watson, give the number out and take your calls. But Bilderberg 2014 is a big deal because we just got the internal list. It's going up right now at Infowars.com. Then we're going to add photos, documents, and intel to the bottom of it. But we have the 2014 list. It's going up at Infowars.com in mere minutes. In mere minutes. Joining us from Copenhagen tomorrow, he'll be on with us via video Skype 30 minutes into the show. And if there's any big events or any attempts to stop our reporters, he'll be doing live feeds as well on Ustream and other systems. Paul, give us an update since you got there yesterday. Were you able to get into the hotel, or are you banned, as I was in England and as you were in England? Give us the data dump. Paul Watson reporting for Infowars.com.
Hi, Alex. Good to be back. Yeah, I've actually checked into the Marriott right now, and they've blocked off the second floor of the hotel. There's a rope around the stairs in the lobby, and if you take the elevator up to the second floor, you're quickly escorted back into the elevator. So they've let us in this time, which differs obviously from last year where we were kicked out 3 days beforehand. We were told that we were a security threat at Watford last year at the Grove. This year, they've let us check in, but preparations are already very visibly taking place for Bilderberg 2014. The security is extremely paranoid for as much as half a mile surrounding the entire hotel. But we've checked into the Marriott. We're here reporting from the scene.
It's now gone up on Infowars.com. We have the official 2014 list that went up literally minutes ago on the official Bilderberg Meetings website, which, again, they didn't have till 6 years ago. Under massive pressure, they have been forced to let some of this out. Official Bilderberg 2014 membership list released. Official list on this year's Bilderberg attendees has now been released. The key, and we're going to add this note at the bottom of their official list and point out that this is their official list, and then have a link saying here's where it comes from. And then under that, we're going to have a note so people understand this is world leaders meeting in secret. They tried to deny this existed in the past. We have forced in previous years to have them admit it is real. And then we have your latest article reposted under it, Paul. And we're going to make note of that, that you have been able from your sources to find out what they're really concerned with this year and what is going to be on their agenda and what the main focus is. But Paul, obviously shoot video of them throwing you off the elevator. I'd come out with your iPhone rolling and put that on YouTube. How is Ustream working? Give us a little preview of what you're going to be able to do inside the hotel.
Well, the fact that they've let us in is a big surprise because as far as half a mile away, right across the water, the police are going around to the local ice cream sellers and telling them to watch out for suspicious people walking next to the water. So they've done it a little bit differently. At least they're letting us in. But you can tell that, you know, compared to Watford last year, the security setup is very more paranoid. But we're inside the hotel. They've roped off the second floor. The organisers for the actual conference are already here.
Yeah, let's be clear. Used to, they threw you out Thursday morning. They started arriving Thursday evening. Now, when I get there, even 3 days before, they're just, Alex Jones, you're not allowed here. The police are there. They throw us out. They go to the local hotel where we're staying, say, don't give this guy service. We caught that on tape in Virginia last year. Just 2 years ago was in Virginia. Last year was England. Unprecedented how the police behaved in Virginia. Very un-American, very North Korean. So to be clear, you haven't been thrown out yet. They may have missed your name. I think you should be ready for that, Paul.
I'm surprised because outside, at the entrance to the hotel, there were tourists with cameras who weren't even taking pictures. They just had, Canon cameras slung around their backs, and security people were walking up to them and being very domineering and saying, you're not allowed to take pictures.
Well, Watson, let's just say it. You're like 6'3", and you look extremely aristocratic. So, you look like a model in person. So that's why you're being left alone.
In Denmark.
No, I know. That's why you're being left alone. I know. Exactly. That's what's going on.
No, but, yeah, they're walking up to people who aren't even taking pictures and harassing them. And even right across the water, they're talking to the local tradesmen and the people who own the boats that sail right by the hotel and trying to intimidate them out of, taking protesters on board. There's still a chance that we might be able to do that, but we'll wait and see.
Okay, so they are talking to people saying don't give boat rides on the nearby water. Describe the water that's around the hotel. And we'll put it on Google Maps, guys. All week we're going to have Google Maps of the Marriott there, and we're going to be showing that. And McBrain's putting together a data package of all that I was requesting last week. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically, obviously one side of the Marriott faces out onto the water streaming through, and the other side, faces out onto the industrial sector and the rest of the city. There's a bridge that connects the Marriott, and there are people with microphones patrolling that bridge on a regular basis. I saw that from the hotel room a little bit earlier. They actually upgraded my hotel room to a waterfront view, so that was nice.
Well, Watson, I want you to get on that boat.
Very paranoid.
I want you to get on those boats and get footage from the water of the facility. Are they putting up a fence, a makeshift riot fence, like they did in Watford last year in England?
They're doing that tomorrow. I've been told the space that the police have afforded us is very near the hotel compared to last year. It's literally across the road. The fences that are in place now are there permanently, so you can see through them. That's no big deal. But they're going to put bollards up. They're going to erect a fence tomorrow, I've been told, immediately in front of that parking lot area, which is being afforded to the protesters. And then there are separate areas nearer the hotel that have been given to us. So, and I'm here with Charlie Skelton and Hannah, who can talk to you as well about the preparations.
Now, Watson, again, we had incredible mega thunderstorms covering half the state yesterday, literally. So the flights were all canceled out of Houston to get our reporters out there to you, David Knight and Josh Owens. They'll be there tonight, late tonight. And so get ready tomorrow. They're going to be there to help you, cover the fence going up. Make contact, obviously, with the bartenders, with the workers, that when they treat you horrible, when they're bad, give them your business card so that they can contact you later with any information. What else are you planning?
Yeah, the thing about the staff is they're obviously very reluctant to tell us anything. We've already tried to talk to them, and it's basically a complete lockdown. But as I said, we're going to get nearer than we did last year. We're here until tomorrow, early afternoon, which is when we have to check out. So basically, we got the rest of today and tomorrow morning, and we're getting, closer access than we did last year. So hopefully, we're going to get more inside information compared to last year. But as I said, it's a whole lot more paranoid than it was last time around because they've allowed us in, but I'm looking at the stairs up to the second floor. They've put a red rope across it. They've blocked it off. They've got people guarding it. They've got people outside the front of the hotel harassing tourists simply for carrying cameras. They're not even taking photographs. And looking at the actual attendee list, you've got Rasmussen there from NATO. So as I said in the article earlier, they're extremely concerned about this agenda for the unipolar world falling apart, which obviously centers around Putin and Ukraine. We've had top globalists saying that Russia is basically being kicked out of the New World Order. You've got the revolution in Europe with the anti-EU parties winning the Euro elections in the UK, Denmark, and France. So this is absolutely crucial for Bilderberg. This is probably one of the most crucial meetings since the 60s or the 70s, so it's very important. And Charlie Skelton from The Guardian is here, so I can put him on if you want a quick word with him.
Absolutely. We'd love to talk to Charlie Skelton. Let's do that right now. Again, we have to give The Guardian credit. In the last 8 years or so, they've been covering it and not just making jokes about it. And Charlie's been arrested, you name it, repeatedly. But he did a great job in England last year helping organize so much of it with his wife, the actual protest. So you got to love that. Guardian writer helping organize the protest. Charlie Skelton, thank you for joining us. What's your breakdown on what you're seeing, sir?
Well, I'm staring now at the participant list, which is, it seems to be a very powerful Bilderberg this year. I mean, they're always powerful, but there seems to be a big one. The head of MI6, the head of NATO, the Supreme Allied Commander of Europe are here, and they're interestingly here with people like General Petraeus, who now works for Henry Kravis at KKR. Now, KKR is a big speculator on war. That's where they make their money. They're not the nicest people in the world. So anyway, they're going to be, I guess, discussing some of the things going on in geopolitically, and we'll be standing nearby taking photographs of them as they arrive in their limousine, or trying to.
Now, I was thrown out with Watson 2 days before it began in Watford last year. We were in the restaurant, actually, and they came in and said, get up and leave. And I just kept eating and finished my wine. But long story short, how were you guys able to get in if they're even telling tourists 300 yards outside the facility not to take photos?
Well, it's a kind of slightly fluid situation. And, we're here, we're going to go for dinner here, I hope, and just have a nice time and soak up the extremely expensive atmosphere, and then worry about the cost tomorrow. But it's still winding up, and it will wind up now for the next few days until obviously it reaches on Thursday the sort of peak of the security, and it's a big operation, and we're right. The location is just a couple of hundred yards from the main administrative centre of the Copenhagen police. So it's in some ways it's interesting. They're holding it right in the middle of the city. So good for people that want to come and say hello, take some photos, report on it. But also right next to the police station. So I think it should be it's a sunny day today. I think it should be a good Bilderberg. I mean, obviously it's missing your presence, sailing down a barge, bullhorning, which is a memory I won't forget in a hurry. But we've got Paul Joseph Watson here, so that's a good second best.
Well, you're going to kick butt. Is your wife there as well?
She is, yes, she's here.
I want to come back, Charlie, and do 2 or 3 more minutes with you to get other observations. Where's the best place for people to read your reportage? Is it at the London Guardian or your personal website?
It'll be on the Guardian, yeah.
I want to hear about when we can start seeing some reports and photos. You always take great photos. We'll We'll be right
We're
back.
on the march. The Empire's on the run.
Bilderberg 2014.
Alex Jones and
They
the
don't want to be
GCN
identified.
Radio Network.
We're going to find out who's not on that list.